All right, guys. So what we're doing today is we're just doing a review over our intro and our conclusions. So here's my goal for you today is you're going to listen to this presentation. It's going to be very short and brief. Then you're going to go into your graphic organizer. You should be able to get your graphic organizer finished today. And then that way you have 2 days of drafting. Remember, your rough draft is due by Sunday at midnight. And so that's going to be where we end this paper, okay? And so that's going to be 50 points of test credit as your rough draft. We're not going to do any kind of editing or anything like that. So we're finishing our rough draft. Hopefully you get it finished by the end of class today, and then you're coming in tomorrow ready to draft. All right, so let's take a look at our notes for today. So this is on Canvas. So if you can either watch it here or you can just go through and scan if you need to. Okay, this is all review from our informative. So when we're looking at the introduction, if you pull up your graphic organizer, you're going to see that hook and line, and that's the exact same thing as what we talked about for our informative. So the hook is that what gets the reader's attention. Okay, that's what's going to create that interest and keep the reader essentially reading your stuff. The line is going to be that connection between the hook and your claim. You should already have your claim done. And so that's going to be that sentence that's going to connect the two, that chat sentence. So this and then this, okay? Then the sinker is the claim, which we all should have a claim at this point. We've spent several days working on the claim, okay? So some common types of hooks, questions, interesting facts, interesting quotations, and maybe you have an interesting short story. Maybe you have a personal experience with whatever you're talking about with social media. We all have been exposed to social media in some aspect. And so maybe you have a personal story that personal anecdote that you can share, okay? Or you could say that for the conclusion. That's really kind of up to you on how you want to handle that. So let's look at some sentence stems. Some of you like these. It's kind of just generally a formula that you can take this sentence and then plug in what you need to finish out the thought. So many people don't know, don't think, don't realize. Many people have asked, wondered. What people don't understand is that. So these are sentence stems that you can use for that hook if maybe you're having a hard time coming up with something that's going to grasp readers' attention. Here's an example of Mrs. White's. So when you look here, her hook is good parents don't let their kids play with sharp objects or come too close to hot surfaces or fires. Here's the line. Parents are supposed to protect their children. However, many are not taking care of their children like they should when it comes to social media. Here's our claim. Because of the many negative effects of social media on a young person's mental health, parents need to monitor their child's exposure to social media. So her two body paragraphs are going to be explaining why parents need to be monitoring um, their child's social media and because of the mental health issues. Okay, and so when she's looking at her counter argument, she could talk about how the counter argument to this could be parents or kids get around parental controls. She could talk about how me you're not teaching your child responsibility by controlling everything that they're doing. Those could be counter arguments she could have to the claim that she's made, and those would be things that she'd want to address in her counter argument. That body paragraph 3. Okay, so that was the intro, and the conclusion is very short. So we're wrapping it up. You're literally going to take your intro and you're just going to swap the claim statement, and you're just going to swap it. So here, so we have the because at the beginning with the wubis word at the beginning. When we go to that first sentence of the claim, the because is going to be in the middle. So you're taking that the back portion of the sentence behind the because, and you're putting that at the front of the sentence, and then that front sentence is going to go behind the because. Okay, so just flip those statements. So that should be easy for you to do. You put that on your graphic organizer. You've already got the first sentence of your conclusion. How you want to choose to wrap it up, that's up to you. You could answer what would happen, like a what if statement. If we don't do this or we do this, here's what's going to happen. Here's where you could put up your opinion. Maybe you can finally put your opinion of the subject matter, or just make a general statement. So when we look at Mrs. White's example, we see that she used a what if statement. So she's got her flipped claim here because it's in the middle. And then this is if we don't. So here's a what if statement that she's chosen to conclude it out. Both your intro and conclusion should be very short and to the point. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to ask Mr. Richardson or you can ask myself tomorrow. But go to your graphic organizer.